Good evening, everyone. Thank you everybody for coming. Hey, welcome Truro, welcome Nova Scotia. My name is Dr. Steve Ellis. I'm the Conservative candidate here in Cumberland, Colchester, and welcome. I want to tell you all, I've said that about 10,000 times during this campaign. We've gotten to a lot of doorsteps, and we're very proud of that, and we know there's a lot we haven't gotten to, but we'll continue to do that right up until Election Day. We've got some honored guests here tonight. I know we have some, our MLAs are here. Dave Ritzy's here somewhere. Larry Harrison's here. Elizabeth Smith-McCrossan is here. And Mayor Bill Mills is here as well. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I also want to introduce our other candidates who've joined us here from Nova Scotia. We've got Cameron Ells from Halifax. And no, I didn't say that wrong. He's an Ells. I'm an Ellis. We've got Eleanor Humphreys here from Halifax West. And we have Angela Conrad from Sackville, Preston, Chesapeake. And my friend Rick Perkins here from South Shore St. Margaret's. So I want all of you to know and be reassured that we have been hitting the roads here around Nova Scotia talking about Canada's recovery plan, and the response has been nothing short of amazing. People are pumped about this plan. People are happy that it's valid, and it's something that we know that we can lead Canada forward out of this pandemic. So thank you to our leader for that. The other thing is that I want to talk about our leader. He is a man who is ready to lead this country. He grew up in, he was born in Montreal, grew up just outside of Toronto in Markham. At 17, he joined the military. He did his basic training in British Columbia. And then, much like myself, he served in the Royal Canadian Air Force just off our coast here in the Sea King helicopters. So that's a shared history that we both have. And of course, I know there's also some other Air Force people here tonight, so welcome for that. We know that we have a leader that is very much in the forefront of Canada. He has been there. He has served our country, and he is ready to lead our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the next Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Erin O'Toole.
Good evening, Truro! Thank you very much, Stephen. It is great to be back home here in Nova Scotia and in Truro with so many friends, and it's also great to be introduced by a veteran, a doctor, and the next member of Parliament for Cumberland, Colchester. Being in Nova Scotia is like being at home for me. It is officially for her, but it's like being at home for me. I served in uniform alongside some inspiring men and women right here in Nova Scotia. I studied here, worked here, volunteered, made friends here, got to love the music, the spirit, the culture of Nova Scotia. But most importantly, while I was here in uniform, I met a girl from Fall River, Nova Scotia. I fell in love with Rebecca, and I've been so proud to have her by my side every day in this campaign. Thank you, darling. Your maritime hospitality will serve this country. Friends, so I have to be honest. I'm an honest politician. We're a rare breed these days in Justin Trudeau's Ottawa. Born in Quebec, raised in Ontario, so I'm only an honorary Nova Scotian, but a very proud one. And I became that during my years here. And I knew I was an honorary because when I finished law school and Rebecca finished working on the World Juniors here, and we moved to Ontario, people said, well, good luck, we're going to miss you. And I didn't know you were from away. That was the biggest compliment for me, to think I was a local here in Nova Scotia. And I want you to know that Rebecca and I take that maritime passion, take that maritime warmth everywhere we go in this country, and we need a burst of that as part of Canada's recovery plan. And I am so proud of the incredible team we have stepping up for us here in Nova Scotia. Now, a few weeks ago, we were on Cape Breton Island. We got to see our friends, the amazing Eddie Orrell and Fiona MacLeod, two future MPs. And now it is great to be back here on the mainland to cheer on some of the amazing people stepping forward and joining me in Canada's recovery plan. Dr. Stephen Ellis in Cumberland Colchester. Eleanor Humphreys in Halifax West. Angela Conrad in Sackville, Preston Chesapeake. Rick Perkins in South Shore, St. Margaret's. And Cameron Ellis in Halifax. I know that they're going to make great members of Parliament who will fight for you and your family in Ottawa. And I want you to know, when I show up to have an event with Nova Scotians in the last week of the campaign, I show up on time. Friends, I've said before that this election is about a choice. And this is probably the most important choice in Canada's history. This is a choice between economic recovery under the Conservatives, or more borrowing, more debt, higher taxes, higher prices, less opportunity for your kids with the Liberals and the NDP. But this election is also a choice about trust and leadership. And whether or not we want to reward Justin Trudeau for calling a $600 million election in the middle of a pandemic. Cette élection est un choix sur la confiance. Allons-nous, oui ou non, récompenser Justin Trudeau pour avoir brisé sa promesse? Allons-nous le récompenser pour avoir déclenché des élections inutiles de $600 million en pleine pandémie? In the last few weeks, Justin Trudeau has not talked about the future of our country. He has not provided a plan for the future of Canada. Instead, he has veered into personal attacks and used American-style misleading politics in an election that he called for himself only. The differences between Justin Trudeau and myself are stark. I grew up in the suburbs. My neighbors were auto workers. My dad, he worked at General Motors. I was taught to work hard, respect others, and give back. Mr. Trudeau had the red carpet rolled out, and despite this immense privilege, he didn't use that platform to help others, but developed a habit of helping himself. We've seen this throughout his time in politics. Remember, the story in the Globe and Mail is false when it wasn't false. pressuring Jody Wilson-Raybould to lie. But thankfully she wouldn't. Yay, indeed. Private island holidays, special deals for friends, and a culture of corruption. This culture of entitlement, of only looking out for number one. Well, once again, Justin Trudeau is looking out for number one. And that's the only reason he called a $600 million election in the middle of a pandemic. The Trudeau Liberals took their eyes off the ball as forest fires raged in British Columbia, as Afghanistan descended into chaos, and as the fourth wave of the pandemic raged. They cared more about holding on to power than showing leadership and helping this country. So we know that is not leadership. That is self-interest. And sadly, it's Justin Trudeau through and through over these last 6 years. Where I grew up, where you grew up, people in Truro, you work hard for everything you have. And even when you don't have a lot, you always try and help others. Your character, your work ethic would earn the respect of your neighbors, respect of the community. Think about that. Character, hard work, looking out for your neighbor. Those are the bedrock principles for me. And those are the traits that are forged into the DNA of Atlantic Canadians. And that's going to be our approach to Canada's recovery. That's my approach to leading Canada's Conservatives. We are here to work hard to earn your support, to have a plan, to earn your trust and your votes. Instead of spending $600 million on a power grab election, imagine what that money could have done for hospitals, for the mental health crisis, for communities. Every day in this campaign, I've talked about ideas that we can work on together to make Canada a better place. That's the discussion Canadians deserve in this election. But Mr. Trudeau is not interested in a serious debate about the future of our country. Because what matters to him isn't your job, your health, your home, your retirement security, your rising cost of living. What matters to him is his job. That's why he'll say anything to get elected, regardless of the damage it might do to an already fragile confederation. That's why he'll promise anything, so long as he thinks it will win him some votes. That's why he'll threaten anything if he doesn't get his way. Don't believe me? Ask Jody Wilson-Raybould, or Jane Philpott, or Selena Cesar-Chavans, or any of the thousands of people that Mr. Trudeau has repeatedly let down. The SNC Lavalin scandal exposed the real Justin Trudeau. It shattered his reputation as a feminist, as a proponent of reconciliation, as someone that we can trust to know the difference between right and wrong. You know, myself, our team, and I love that t-shirt, Veterans for O'Toole. That's the first time I've seen it. I love it. Thank you for your service. Friends, I didn't ask for this campaign, but every single day of it, I talk about my love for this great country, and I've stood up and proposed practical solutions to make life better, to secure our future, to make life more affordable, and to tackle the challenges we're facing coming out of the worst health and economic crisis in our history. We have a detailed plan, and we have recruited experienced, hardworking, and ethical people to help us deliver on this plan. That is what this election should be about, not rewarding someone who called it in a pandemic. Friends, I got into politics for one simple reason. The very same reason that I came to Nova Scotia with the Air Force many years ago. The same reason that I and many of you volunteer for charitable causes in your community. The same reason why I ultimately stood for election to Parliament: to serve our great country. Canadians deserve better than a leader who is concerned only about his own grip on power. And think about this for a moment. What would the Justin Trudeau of 2015 think about the Prime Minister we see today? The one who is clinging to power and dividing the country, fostering fear and division. The one who says he's a feminist but pressured a woman to lie to cover up corruption. The one who preaches honesty and transparency while funneling cash to liberal insiders in the middle of a pandemic. The one who talks about reconciliation is facing off with Indigenous children in court. The one who talks about the environment, but his actual record is pumping record emissions into the air. The one who says one thing and then almost immediately starts to do the opposite. Would the sunny ways Justin Trudeau of 2015 have called a $600 million election in the middle of a pandemic? I think not, friends. This is a chance for us to bring change to this country. And this is a chance for you to show that we can bring this country together. I am in politics to help this great country, to alongside you serve this great country, to get things done, to make the country better, to build up Canada and unite it, not tear it down and divide it. That is why we created Canada's Recovery Plan. And our country desperately needs a plan, and it desperately needs change. One party alone in this election has put out a clear and honest plan for recovery. An ambitious vision that will help families in all sectors of our economy and in all regions of this great country. That one party that is fighting for a better Canada of the future are Canada's Conservatives with Canada's Recovery Plan. And our promise to Canadians is this: we have exceptional women and men stepping up as Conservative candidates to get this country back on track. We have a plan to recover 1 million jobs in 1 year, to clean up the mess of corruption in Ottawa, to deliver on a national leadership approach and a plan for mental health, to dedicate nearly $60 billion to rebuilding our public health system, to balance the budget, to build 1 million more homes, to get inflation under control, and to make life more affordable finally. The choice in this election is clear. Do we as Canadians reward Mr. Trudeau for calling an unnecessary $600 million election in the middle of a pandemic? My answer is no. Make no mistake, and this is what you have to tell your friends and your co-workers: a vote for anyone other than one of our exceptional Conservative candidates is a vote for more of the same with Justin Trudeau. More of the same of being taken for granted, more corruption, more debt, more misleading politics. Don't fall for the politics of fear. Justin Trudeau called this unnecessary election, but in a couple of days, Canadians can finish it. Send Justin Trudeau a message. Tell him what you think about the pandemic election. You can vote for a better and more secure future. Justin Trudeau a déclenché cette élection, mais vous pouvez la finir. Vous pouvez lui envoyer un message fort. Dites-lui que vous pensez d'une élection au milieu d'une pandémie. Vous pouvez voter pour un avenir meilleur. This is a great bilingual crowd. Thank you. I love this country, and I know each and one of you love it too. Ours is the best country in the world, and what makes it great is we're always striving to be better. And I believe our best days are on the horizon, but we desperately need unity, and we desperately need leadership for the recovery that is ahead of us. So in this election, in the final stretch, our message to you is a positive one. Vote for a united Canada. Vote for a brighter future. Vote to secure the future. Vote Conservative. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nova Scotia.